Roblox is fully broken right now. Rolls had a weird new glitch and more Rolls news today. So if you're new, please subscribe. If you don't, you're a loser. That's just how it works. Let's get into it. Firstly, let's start some pretty disappointing Roblox news. Okay, so if you guys remember like a week ago now, it was announced that SpongeBob is launching an official Roblox game. It was with a game fan, but besides that, it was still very hype in the community. And overall, just in general, like a lot of news accounts, like not even Roblox news accounts, were tweeting about it, and it had like so much likes and views. Like this one here from a popular news account, 43,000 likes, 2 million views, and in general this gave a lot of hype around it, and it's just like a very big thing for Roblox. Recently we got a sneak peek of what the game is, and also some more news with it, and everything is kind of disappointing in my opinion. So firstly, in general, the game's gonna have a little bit of a delay for when it releases. It was gonna release on January 26th, but instead it's now gonna release on February 2nd. So not that far away, but still a bit of a delay. But that's not the big thing here. The main disappointing thing in my opinion is that number one is a simulator. Like this collab had so much potential and so much like opportunities, and they made a simulator with it. But not only that, they also released a preview of the game, as we can see here, free preview, SpongeBob Simulator, and the game like blew up. It's doing very well. 11,000 likes, 5 million views, 8,000 people active, like 10,000 people active during the day, like it's huge. But with that being said, if you play the game, it's literally just Pet Simulator, but as SpongeBob themed with official SpongeBob licensing, which is kind of disappointing because on Roblox we've seen so much better unofficial SpongeBob games be made, and then they get strike down and deleted because they don't have an official license. And then when GameFam gets an official license, they make some boring, cash grab simulator that's like Pet Simulator. To be fair, this is just a preview, but that concept is probably still gonna stay. I mean, it is a simulator, so I feel like it's just very disappointing. I mean, to be fair, as we can see, the game is doing very well. It seems like a lot of people do seem to like it, but I just feel like this collab has so much potential, and they just literally just made a Pet Simulator game, and it wasn't anything that insane, which is very disappointing. This collab has so much hype and like so much potential around it, but it didn't end up being that good in my opinion. But anyways, with that being said, let's get to our next story of a pretty random Roblox glitch that happened yesterday. So yesterday when you went to Roblox for like a few hours, the player search was fully broken, but not in the way you think. It wasn't just broken because it didn't work or it was being glitchy. This was actually happening instead. RTC News here said, Roblox has a bug where when you try to search for anybody's profile, you get redirected to the Builderman account. And yeah, for some reason yesterday, for like a while, when you went to search up people's usernames, it would be fine. Like you can see all the people's usernames and stuff like that. But the right when you click on their profile, that's when the glitch would happen. And no matter who you searched up and no matter whose profile you searched up, it would always redirect to the Builderman account, which is the most random and funny thing. How does stuff like this even happen? Now to be fair, like I said, this was patched after like a few hours. Like Rolls was on it pretty quick, surprisingly. But it was just like the weirdest and most random glitch we've seen in a while. Because usually glitches are kind of expected, stuff breaking and stuff like that. But this one was like a complete left turn. I don't even know how this makes sense. It's like the most random thing. But in general, to be fair, it was one of the more harmless Roblox glitches, and a lot of people just found it pretty funny. A lot of people were making jokes like, oh, Builderman is desperate for followers, he needs the attention and stuff like that. So it wasn't that harmful, and it's a pretty funny thing that's going on in the community. And it has been patched, so it's not that big of a deal, but it was pretty funny to see nonetheless. And anyways, with that being said, let's get into our next story of a pretty good Rolls update coming soon. RBX News here tweeted us saying, the Rolls feature allowing you to move, scale, and rotate accessories on avatar will be available in the first half of this year. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this was announced at RDC, but Roblox recently did an AMA and they kind of answered a bunch of questions from the community, and I think this was brought up and they kind of explained that it's going to come the first half of this year, so sometime soon, within these next few months, which is very good, and this is probably the most like sought after Roblox feature that we've seen in a while, and there's a lot of hype around this in the community, because especially with UGC, or just items in general, to be honest, I think we all had an experience where we get a good item, an item that we're really excited for, but then when you put it on, it's either too big, it clips your avatar, it's not in the right spot, and a lot of items get ruined by that and they don't match your avatar. But now that's no longer going to be a problem when it releases, because you can move it around, you can scale it to make it a little bit bigger or smaller, and you can also rotate it, which is pretty insane. And overall, this is a very good feature coming to Roblox soon. But with that being said, obviously on one hand, the update is incredible. Like straight up, it's just like a really good update. But on the other hand, if you read a lot of these comments, a lot of people are actually concerned, because as we've seen with UGC over the past few months, people have been finding a way to bypass it and make inappropriate items, and people just make inappropriate items in general. Like if you guys remember, one of the biggest situations recently was that people started making like tails where if you reversed your avatar, it would display something else, which I'm not going to go too deep into, but you can use your brain. And with that being said, now people can make items that look seemingly harmless, but if you rotate it and scale it in a different way, it can end up being inappropriate. And a lot of people are really worried about this feature because this can end up being really bad, especially considering that public UGC is also coming soon. So the fact that public UGC is going to be out and there's already a bunch of bad items made in combination with this feature, a lot of people think it's going to end up being a big mess for the community, because Roblox already can't handle, UGC and inappropriate items, and people already found bypasses to inappropriate items before this thing's even out. So once this update releases with public UGC, Everyone's saying it's going to be a complete mess, and it also is going to be harder to moderate because Roblox can't really predict how people are going to use this, you know what I mean? So in general, a very good update, you know, as like a regular player. But if you read the comments here, a lot of people are very kind of worried because as we've seen with Roblox, items just keep getting worse and worse, especially with UGC. So let me know what you guys think about this update, because I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on it. But in general, to be fair, just a core update, if you don't look at anything else, is very good, and I think this will open up a lot of potential in the future for items. And anyways, with that being said, kind of next story, Roll's having a major issue. So as I'm sure you guys are aware, on the Chrome Web Store, there's a lot of fake extensions on Rolls that can hack your device. And the Chrome Web Store is kind of the main spot, but after a while, a lot of these extensions do get taken down. But then with that, a lot of people have been adding Rolls extensions to other browsers like Microsoft Edge, Firefox, stuff like that. And the issues on those type of platforms are getting way worse. Julian Rolls here tweeted out saying, "Hey Microsoft Edge, when are you actually going to remove malicious extensions from the Edge store?" And then he followed up saying something pretty insane. He said that 53.3% out of every single extension on the Microsoft Edge store is all malicious Rolls extensions. Pretty insane. Like on Chrome, for example, every once in a while a new one pops up and then it gets deleted after a little bit. But the fact that on other, you know, browsers, the fact that almost like 50% or over 50% are all malicious Rolls things are insane, and it's a huge issue going on right now. And also with that being said, since these browsers are smaller and not used as much people, I mean they're still huge but not compared to Google, it takes like longer for these extensions to get taken down. Like I remember a little bit ago there's like a Firefox issue going on and it took like months to get it resolved, and that was just for one extension. So think about, you know, 53% of the extensions all have to get taken down, and it's probably gonna take them so long. And in general right now, if you use any other browser and you play Rolls on them, be very, very careful with what extensions you get, because almost like every single one, as we've seen here, is malicious. And then also with that being said, a lot of people are making fake extensions of real extensions. So even if you see a popular extension and you think it's the popular extension, make sure it's the actual real one, because a lot of times there's just copies too. Really big issue going on there, and a lot of people are probably getting hacked and losing their accounts over this. But anyways, with that being said, let's get to our last story. Something pretty insane that happened on Roblox today. Of that being Rolls went down. And I know what you're thinking, that happens all the time, why is this a big thing? Well, that's because this actually hasn't happened in so long. If you guys weren't aware, Rolls had an amazing streak going on, and Rolls hasn't gone down for like almost 100 days now, which is pretty crazy. As we can see in this RTC tweet, October 2023 was the last actual outage on Roblox, and ever since that it's been pretty good. But today the streak ends, and well, Rolls is being broken on like every device it seems like. So firstly, in general, Roblox is just broken, you know, the typical issues, people can't play the game right now, it's just being very broken and the website's down. And also with that, when you try joining a game, it's not just broken because like it's being glitchy or anything like that. You literally get messages now saying that the game you just can't play and you can't join for some reason. So it's being fully broken right now. It's a pretty big issue going on. But then also with that, it's not just PC like how it typically is. Apparently Xbox users are also just completely broken. As we can see here, they're having issues like logging in and stuff. And in general, Rolls just fully broke today, which is pretty unfortunate because he had such a good streak going. But to be fair, it's pretty surprising that Rolls even lasted this long without going down. Like before, we would see it go down like every week, you know, it was like a normal thing. So honestly, the fact that it's been like almost 100 days and it hasn't gone down is pretty impressive. And the outage today is pretty bad, obviously, because it's like across every single device, but it should be back in a few hours. And honestly, on the bright side, it's very good to see Roblox, you know, kind of improve their servers. I mean, it did go down today, but that's kind of expected for Roblox. The more surprising thing, in my opinion, is that it hasn't gone down for that long. But yeah, with that being said, as we can see, Rolls is fully down, people can't play the game, and also on top of all that, every device is having some sort of issue as well. Like I think PC is the main one, but then console as well, people can't log in for some reason, so it's like a full outage right now, and a lot of people can't play the game. Pretty unfortunate, but like I said, they had a really good streak going, so fair play to them, but that streak is now over. After this outage though, I'm kind of curious which route Rolls will go to. Like, you guys think the Rolls servers are going to go back to just being horrible and crashing every week, or do you guys think that they're going to have another like long streak? Let me know in the comments. I'm kind of curious to see what happens. In my opinion, I feel like the streak might continue. Like, Roblox servers seem to just be really good now. For example, I think Brookhaven hit like 1 million players the other day, and the servers were completely fine, you know, just casually. So really good from them, but now it's all down and broken. And anyways, with that being said, if you enjoyed, check this video to find out. Rolls responding to a bunch of things, and I'll see you in the next one.